The key idea for WSET3 theory is don't just memorize, understand and explain cause and effect. For example, it's not enough to know that Chardonnay is grown in Chablis. You need to be able to write, Chablis has a cool continental climate with little autumn rain. Chardonnay retains high acidity and displays green apple and citrus fruit with little oak influence due to traditional stainless steel or old oak fermentation. Malolactic conversion is often used to reduce sharp acidity. So I studied by breaking every chapter into a template. Grape variety and its natural characteristic, climate influence in cool, moderate and warm regions, winemaking choices like oak use, list stirring or blending, the resulting profile in the glass like acidity, flavor, body, and quality and the price factors. Then I rewrote my notes using that logic. When I studied Bordeaux, for example, I made a comparison grid of left bank versus right bank, like dominant grape varieties, climate, soil, wine style, AOC roles, oak usage, and price levels. I paid close attention to cause-effect language. After each topic, I used the short written answer questions from the official workbook and timed my answers. I practiced writing them using this format: state the fact, explain it, and give a relevant example. For example, if the question was, why is irrigation important in Mendoza, in Argentina? My answer would be, Mendoza has a continental climate with low rainfall. Irrigation using Andes meltwater ensures vines have enough water to grow and ripen fully. As for the tasting, I learned that WSET is not about just guessing wines, but about analytically approaching them. It's about matching structure and descriptors to a logical conclusion. So I created a calibration grid with benchmarks. For acidity like Muscadet or Chablis, it's high, Pinot Grigio, medium, Viognier, it's low. And the same for tannin, like Barolo high, Merlot medium, Gamay, Pinot Noir low. I tasted wines blind and forced myself to call structure before looking at the label. I built a habit of writing tasting notes with a timer, like 15 minutes per wine, 2 wines per session. I used only WSET descriptors from the textbook from the SAT. I also categorized aromas by type, like primary, secondary, and tertiary, to stay within SAT vocabulary. For example, if I found vanilla, I linked that to barrel aging as a secondary descriptor. If I found green apple, then it is primary. Every wine I tasted, I rated on the SAT scale. For example, a Crianza with integrated oak, medium acidity, and moderate complexity, I rated as good. A high acid, citrus-driven Riesling with long finish and minerality, I rated very good or even outstanding. I also memorized the WSET explanations for quality. If a wine had all 4 elements like balance, length, intensity, complexity, then it is outstanding. It was very useful to have a couple of mock exams both on theory and tasting, like 2 wines, 30 minutes, write everything out. Then I compared my answers to model notes and corrected the mistakes. By the way, there is a PDF made of mock exam theory questions prepared by me. If you are studying for your WSET 3 right now, just grab it. It's completely free. Hope it would be useful. The link is in the description. And to take things even further, I focused on how WSET 3 theory rewards clarity, conciseness, and relevance. I made a rule for myself. Every sentence I write must either answer the question directly or support the answer with a fact or some logic. So for each major topic, say factors affecting wine quality, okay? I wrote 3-4 model answers and practiced reciting them aloud, explaining how each factor like climate, vineyard management, yields, winemaking decisions links directly to the final wine style and quality. I made it a habit to link back every detail to what the examiner wants, like structure, clarity, and directness. When studying sparkling wines, I didn't just list the steps of the traditional method, I wrote why each step matters. List aging gives autolytic notes such as toast and brioche. These enhance complexity and are indicators of quality, especially when aging exceeds 18 months. In regions like Champagne, I memorized the key factors like minimum lease aging, permitted grape varieties like Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and key styles like vintage, non-vintage, rosé. Then I drilled practice questions until I could answer them from memory. I used sticky notes on my wall for blind recall, like what are the climatic challenges in Burgundy? Answer: spring frost and summer hail reduce yields. Variability between vintages makes quality inconsistent. Cool continental climate leads to high acidity in Chardonnay. and Pinot Noir. I often practiced explaining different concepts, which might be the thing for the short written answer part of the exam, like why Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc is stylistically different from Sancerre. Use terms like canopy management, machine harvesting, stale steel fermentation, and oak influence, so be precise. That's the kind of analysis WSET really wants. And a quick heads up, if you are prepping for your WSET level 3 and want to actually feel ready walking into the exam room, I've put together a full WSET level 3 preparation bundle. It's 5 power-packed sessions, 4 focused on theory and 1 about nailing the tasting section. Whether you missed a few things in class, want to prep ahead of your course, or just need a final full scope revision before the exam, this bundle designed to give you clarity, structure, and confidence. And if you just want a single deep dive session, also no problem, you can book that too. Links are in the description down below. Check it out if you're serious about passing with distinction. And on the tasting side, I took it as seriously as a job. I bought around 30 bottles across different regions and split them with my friend preparing for the WSET exam. Funny fact, he was not taking the same WSET 3 exam, just decided to do some tasting. Really fun guy, a lot into wine. We tasted together and compared our notes. I built my tasting memory by anchoring specific descriptors to specific wines. Like Albarino always gave me wet stones and grapefruit. South African Chenin gave me baked apple and oak spices sometimes. Rioja Reserva gave me vanilla, dried cherry and leather. I didn't just taste, I wrote full notes using the exact SAT wording and evaluated quality and readiness to drink each time. I also got in the habit of doing dry tasting. Look at the wine and guessing structure before tasting. This trained my visual skills as well for the appearance section. Probably it's more of a bit for WSET diploma preparation, but it's fine to be a little bit over-prepared. Okay. For quality assessment, I never guessed. I used WSET's BLEC system. Again, balance, length, intensity, complexity, and forced myself to justify every evaluation. If I said good, I explained, like good balance between fruit and oak, but short finish and moderate complexity. When I rated a wine outstanding, I had 4 reasons written clearly. This made my answers more convincing and aligned with WSET standards. I also practiced tasting 2 wines back to back and comparing them, like Chardonnay from Chablis versus Sonoma, for instance. In the last 2 weeks before the exam, I did mock exams every other day. 50 minutes theory test under timed conditions, 50 minutes for multiple choice section, then short written answers, and then 30 minutes for tasting sessions. I didn't allow myself to use any notes during the exam. Afterwards, I reviewed my answers against the official WSET guide and scored myself using their marking logic. I found that I consistently lost points only when I got lazy with explanations or forgot to include examples or tried to use some descriptors which are not in the SAT, so I worked specifically on fixing that thing. On the day of the exam, I arrived a little bit early, just brought a spare pen and did a light review of high yields fact like AOC requirements, production methods, benchmark descriptors. I didn't cram, I just reinforced what I already knew. During the theory section, I scanned all the questions first, picked the ones I was strongest at and answered those first. I stuck to the format, like clear point, explanation, example. For tasting, I just kept calm and trusted my palate. I structured everything the same way I had trained. Appearance, nose, palate, conclusion, as always. I hit all components like sweetness, acidity, tannin, alcohol, body, flavor intensity, everything. But I didn't overcomplicate, I stayed within the WSET language and stayed neutral. No guessing, no creative writing. WSET doesn't evaluate our creativity, it evaluates our knowledge and how well we stick to the SAT. Just clear, evidence-based descriptions. For me, the real secret to passing WSET 3 with distinction is consistency. Don't overestimate your memory. Build your understanding step by step. Use the structure they teach you. Focus on precision and not creativity. Drill sample answers and taste actively, not passively. Practice with purpose. If you do that, distinction isn't a matter of luck. It's just the result of disciplined preparation. If you need a hand with your prep, feel free to book a session or grab the full WSET 3 preparation bundle with me, whatever suits your needs best. All the links are in the description down below. Best luck with your studies. You got this. See ya.